Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 10 brawlers to max out for season 26. So we've already done it for ranked, but we've not just done one for the general Brawl Stars. Of course, there's a lot more to Brawl Stars than just ranked. There's ladder, there's showdown, there's all about goofy stuff. But yeah, this is mainly for ladder purposes only. So before we jump into it, make sure to subscribe if you've not already. Getting close to 300k, really appreciate the support. And without further ado, let's jump into the first Brawl event. So first brawler I absolutely recommend maxing out right now in the meta is Max. So Max right now is a demon. So first and foremost, I will say that Max as a standalone brawler, he will not absolutely carry in your lobbies, but as a support brawler, she's just an enabler. She can enable all of her teammates around her to just run up the map, take control of the map, and win the game. Her hypercharge as well is one of the best inside of a game, giving you and your teammates 25%, I think it's 20 or 25% extra supercharge, which is insane. Speed boost as well, which lasts like 10 seconds, which is crazy. And just Max is a standalone brawler. If you know how to play her effectively, she's just insane for pressure, especially on open maps. She's a great counter to a lot of snipers and bounty and knockout. And just overall, I don't even think she'll be getting a nerf. If there was going to be a nerf for Max, I think the only way to nerf her is through the hypercharge itself. But then again, I don't think it's like crazy broken to receive one. So I think you're pretty safe in maxing out Max. Jumping into the next brawler we must absolutely max out for this season, it is Byron. So again, Byron is so incredibly underrated. I absolutely carry with this brawler. He's insane. So not only is he probably the best healer inside of the game right now, probably even better healer than Poco. Of course, you got to hit those shots consistently, but you can heal at a distance, which is insane. But he's also an insane damage dealer. He cycles through super with 3 shots, and you can just do so much damage with him. The damage buff a couple of months ago just skyrocketed him up the meta, and people don't realize just how incredibly strong he is. And when Byron is strong in the meta, it is just, I don't know, something a little bit imbalanced, because he's just good at everything. You can't take him down, especially when he cycles to 3 shots to his super. He can always defend himself, always finish off kills as well. And it's a good thing that you can literally play Byron everywhere. It's only like a few grassy maps I wouldn't recommend him on, because tanks still overpower him a little bit, especially with hypercharge, but still he can get a lot of value, and if he sees tanks, he can get his super for free. So for me, I think Byron is easily one of the best brawlers in the game. You need to max him out for this season, and I don't really foresee him getting nerfed anytime soon. So jumping into the next brawler, must absolutely max out for this season, it is Kit. So this is actually mainly outside of 3v3 game modes. I know SpenLC is talking about anything but 3v3, but inside of solo showdown, inside of duels, inside of knockout, bounty, Kit is like the best brawler. They've actually made Kit into an assassin-like brawler now, which is insane. When Kit starts to become that strong in that sense, that's when you know it's a problem, because Kit is supposed to be a support brawler. They kind of nerfed the damage in the past because they didn't want Kit to be an assassin, but pretty much Kit is an assassin right now. 2,000 damage per hit is insane. But the best thing about Kit is just still the support capabilities, the fact that you can just jump on a teammate, consistently heal them up, and they can get a lot of pressure. There's so many cheesy strategies in knockout, bounty with like Mortis, Miko, Daryl, Frank. There's just so much cheese going on, and unless you have Cordelius or Charlie, you're not going to stop it. Kit is a force in this meta. So next up on the most max out list, we have Amber. So I think not many people have Amber maxed out right now, because I don't see it too much in my ranked games, but it's outside of ranked. Amber is just a force. She's so strong literally everywhere, and the main reason being is because of the Dancing Flames gadget. It's actually such a strong gadget. It's insane. So whenever you're close to a wall, or there's like any type of aggressive brawler, you can pop your gadget and literally delete half of their HP, or sometimes if they're squishy, literally just kill them in a couple of seconds. It's insane. Amber's super versatile, really good in Brawl Ball, Gem Grab, Hot Zone. She can be usable in a few other places as well, in Heist. I just think she's easily, like, I'd say she's considered S-tier. Seriously, the win rate with her is through the roof, and I hate facing off against her. Amber is insane. I don't really see her getting a nerf anytime soon. So the next brawler I recommend maxing out in this meta, it is Rico. So I might be a little bit biased here as a Rico main, but I think there's so many good Rico maps out in the rotation right now, whether it's ranked, whether it's 3v3. I think there's just so many like maps where you can lock it down with Rico, and the opponents can't do anything. So most of the time, a good Rico maps like Center Stage, also Sneaky Fields, as Harder Up Mine, you want to be using a Vision Gear and the Reload Gear. So you just want to keep spamming out shots relentlessly, and because of the Vision Gear and the amount of projectiles he has per ammo, you're always going to keep on top of the opponents. And then of course you're going to use the multiple launcher gadget, which I think is one of the most broken gadgets in the game. It deletes people. It deals like 12,000 damage consistently. So any aggro brawler, you're just going to delete every single time. So I think fundamentally that gadget is broken. I don't really foresee it getting a nerf either. So, you know, on good maps, Rico will absolutely dominate, and he's a good carry pick. So I do recommend maxing him out. Try him out for yourself. And once you learn how to play him, you will dominate lobbies. So jumping into the next brawler you must max out with this season, it is Sam/Buzz. So it depends on what type of player you are. I'm more of a Buzz player because it's a little bit noob friendly, but if you're good Sam, you definitely can dominate with him as well. So I always recommend maxing out some type of aggro brawler, but I feel like these two brawlers are really slept on in the meta. As a late pick and ranked, again, I know I'm not really focusing on ranked, but as a late pick, it's always good to have a tank. And especially like a good one like Sam and Buzz, who just counters so many different brawlers. But it's the same in ladder. Of course, you're going to be facing off against a lot of squishier brawlers, so Buzz and Sam just work wonders. You're going to face off against a lot of low DPS brawlers at the top of the meta, so that's where they come into play. Also, Buzz's hypercharge is actually pretty strong. Like, definitely underrated it. You pretty much get a free kill every single time, and you're just bound to get a lot of pressure with it. Even if you don't get a kill, you're going to force the opponents all the way back into spawn because you can grapple onto them at any point in time. So I definitely recommend maxing out one of those two tanks. So jumping into the next brawler you must max out with this season, I went with Serge. So again, people are underrating this brawler so heavily. Of course, you can max out the best 10 brawlers in the game. I feel like Serge is starting to get to that point. Main reason being is because there's just a lot of dumb randoms right now. And I'm seeing myself going Serge a lot because people are going like BB, Fang, Cordelius, Stu. I don't know, there's several other kind of meta options like that where Serge just has a field day on them, especially with the shield gadget where you can get 2 pieces of ammo back. If you're a good Serge or just a half decent Serge, you just destroy so many randoms in ranked. Also, you just go on like Brawl, Gem Grab, any grassy map, you're going to have a good value with Serge, as long as you don't go Serge on a nice open map, because you're just going to get pinched and you're never going to be able to get your first level. But trust me, with how the meta's developing, I think Serge is an excellent brawler to max out. Moving into the next brawler you must absolutely max out, it is Charlie. So I must have mentioned Charlie literally every single season since her release because she's just been broken every single season. I thought this was finally the time that the nerf would actually catch up to her, and it hasn't. She's still an S tier brawler, absolutely. She can counter pretty much everything. So again, fundamentally, Charlie's super is just broken. Even since the super charge rate nerf, it's still not really done too much. It's still a free kill every single time. You've then got the Spiders gadget that can just force lane pressure and just allow you to counter snipers. And if you keep facing off against like Sandy or other people that shoot free spiders, you can just use the other gadget, which is actually good for keeping you alive. And then of course you got the hyper charge on top of that, which is actually pretty underrated. And just as a standalone brawler, Charlie can just get so much consistent damage, and she just hyper counters all of those tanks. If you see a single tank, you know that you're feasting with Charlie. So I think she's easily one of the best brawlers in the game. People are sleeping on her, not really picking her much in ranked, and she's still an S tier brawler. So jumping into the next brawler you must max out for this season, it is Sandy. So main reason being, I've not actually recommended a few brawlers like Angelo, Melody, Nita, etc., because I feel like they'll actually get nerfs which will hurt them in the future pretty soon maybe. But with Sandy, I think even if they nerf the hypercharge rate or even the hypercharge itself, I still feel like Sandy is going to be easily an A tier brawler. Just a hypercharge itself, like adding it onto already one of the best supers inside of the game, it's just going to make Sandy really strong forever. So again, any nerf that Sandy receives, I think Sandy's still going to be one of the best brawlers in the game. So I'm saying that because I think the balance changes are going to come soon, hopefully. But yeah, Sandy is just insane everywhere, and especially those grassy maps, you just can't counter this brawler. The hypercharge is just so insane with you and your teammates. With a Sandy super anyway, you can get so much map control, but it just enables you to cycle your super even better. Get team wipe and then score, and then just cycle like that. So Sandy is just crazy strong right now. Moving on to the last brawler you must max out for this season, it has to be a thrower. So it can be one of 3 throwers. It's got to be Sprout, Dynamite, or Tick. So I feel like people go Dynamite too much in my ranked games and ladder at the moment, but he's one of the most fun brawlers, and I wouldn't actually discredit you from maxing him out because he has a really good hyper charge. Or go with a Tick. He's only really good in knockout and bouncy, but still he's got a hyper charge and overall still pretty good. Or you can go with Sprout, my personal favorite, a little bit harder to play on ladder but really good in ranked. All of these brawlers have hyper charges and they're just really good throwers. You always need a thrower within one of your max brawlers, main reason being because throws are just so dangerous on the right map. If the opponent hasn't got like an assassin to counter you, you can literally 1v3 the opponents, especially with any of these throwers. So for me, you'd need to max out one of these throwers for sure. Let me know who your favorite thrower is in the comment section below. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.